Hey guys, I'm back at it. Remember discs of Tron, how the sound was fast? Well, I haven't shipped this one off yet, and I've been doing some research and stuff about that because it's been bothering me about this sound being sped up like one and a half to 2 times too fast. And I don't think that's normal, because I think you're supposed to be able to just use this board in a regular cabinet if you have it. It should be able to just plug into a regular cabinet. I am analyzing right now a 161, which in this unreadable schematic is right here. And this is being clocked by this guy, right? That's the carry bit off of the 161. This is the carry bit. I cannot see the clear pin here. I don't see clear. I don't know if it's tied high or what. I see 10, 7, 2, 11. I don't see it. But it looks like it has a signal on it, the clear line. That's up top, pin 1. And this thing is not clearing. And this is a direct clear. This is not synchronous with the clock. That clear overrides everything. If that goes low, this thing is supposed to go to 0. So we could be getting too many of these. Those carry bits clocking that other counting device right here. I mean, it could be. I mean, it's definitely, the 161 is definitely not working right. But I do want to find out if that has actually got a signal on it, because I don't see pin 1 on here. I don't see the clear. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and probe it with the scope and see if it's actually got a signal on it. I'll be right back. Okay, couple interesting points. The 161 I was just looking at, the clear pin is floating. It's not connected to anything. I don't like that, and it should be pulled high. More interesting, the load pin is also pulled high. If you follow this, and I had to actually get another super soundboard out to verify this. Load comes up, and it's also pulling 74 high on pins 13 and 10. And this 74 190 here, pin 1 maybe, right there. That is also being tied high. And I beeped out, pin 9 of this guy on this board, and it's tied to the 74 over here, pins 13 and 10, like it is in the schematic. But there's also this. There's a pulse on that pulled high line, as is shown here, that load pulse right there. Now, it's not loading anything, because it's not getting it's not getting clocked. But still, why is there a pulse on that line? We may have a funky chip tied to that, and that could be what's messing everything up. So I think what I want to do is analyze everything. I've already looked at the 74 and it looked fine, but I did not look at those pulled lines, so I should see if that's influencing the output. Because if that's influencing the output of this, then it's going to mess everything up. So I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do, is look at that guy, the 74, with the analyzer. I looked at it with my 4-channel scope because I didn't have to hook up to pins 13 or 10 because they looked like they were tied high. So I'm going to look at that guy and we'll see what is going on. That might be causing an issue. If that is influencing the output, then it will definitely be messing things up, right? So let's take a look. Alright, I'm on the 74 there, up there, and you'll see here I'm triggering on that anomaly on the preset and clear lines. Preset and clear are both going low at the same time, which is something that you should not ever see, because the outputs don't know what to do. And you can see the outputs are confused. Q stays high that period of time because it's presetting, and clear stays kind of the same a little bit. That's not going to be, I don't believe, the big problem here. But that is not good. We're definitely onto something that's not good. So the only thing else that is connected to this is the 190. So we're going to have to look at that 190. And I bet you that's our bad part, because it's right here. It's pretty darn hot. Yeah, these are 191s up here, which are also counters, and they're cool. This 190 is pretty toasty. It'll burn you if you stay on it long enough. I mean, that's not always a sign of anything, but could be. That's the only thing else that's tied to this, to that. And that's supposed to be tied high. And that's definitely influencing this. This doesn't exactly look that good anyway. Well, we're at 50 nanoseconds. That's probably a problem. Let's go here. Yeah, that looks better. That's fine. That's just the problem right there. That's an issue. I mean, is it our big problem? Probably not. But that's a symptom of the problem. I think this is going to be the problem. So let's analyze that guy. It's a 190. It's right here. Okay, I'm on that 190, and I'm actually just trying to pull that load pin high. Goodness gracious, it's hot. Anyway, this is a decade counter. It's a 190, and you can see right here, it is a decade counter. Decade counter is different from a binary counter. As a binary counter counts basically 0 to 15. A decade counter counts 0 to 9. Okay. Remember, our load line is going low for some reason. And it is, you'll see on this data out which it should be 0 to 9. You'll see F. It's being forced to F. So I believe that this ripple count, this ripple clock, is being clocked way too many times. That's my theory. I'm going to study this a little bit more, and try to find out if it's just completely random when this is resetting, or if it's like in a certain time. What's going on here? So I'll be back. I'm going to look at this a bit. Alright, I just verified by beeping out that load pin is supposed to be pulled high. And if you see here, we have data. I think the data bits, I don't know if they're tied low or what. It doesn't show anything about the data bits in the schematic. Because here's that 190. You can see the outputs over here, 3, 2, 6, and 7. You see the enable on 4, the other enable is grounded on 5. So this is counting up. Yeah. It counts with the enable on pin 4, and the down, not up input on pin 5 is grounded, which means it will count up. You got the clock on pin 14, and you got the load pin right here. That's actually pin 11. And then you got this ripple clock coming out on pin 13. And that ripple clock comes over here and clocks these 191s. Or load, that's load. I think 191 pin 11 might be load. Anyway, it's, you know, there's all these 191s over here. And it loads every one of them. Going all the way up, it loads all of those 191s. So I think that might be our problem, because this is counting to 9, and then it's starting at 2. It's skipping 0 and 1 for some reason. This thing isn't working right. That's the bottom line. It's a shortened frequency because it's skipping the 2 counts. So I am going to replace this 190 if I have a 190, because that's kind of an oddball. I bet you I do. Anyway, I'm going to take care of that. Let's do that and see what happens. Okay, I replaced the 190 and got no difference. Same thing, same exact problem. So I'm like, what is going on? So I started beeping out that that load pin is connected to this 166 on the clear line. So this is being cleared. This is being loaded. This 74 up here is being preset and cleared. Anyway, let me get my the camera on the stand and I'll show you what I found. Okay, I got you right in on here. I'm beeping around because pin 9 of the clear pin of this guy is also connected to that, as it's connected up to the 74. And then I just kind of looked and I was like, I wonder if it's connected to this. And it is. Pin 7 of this bipolar ROM is a data output. That's a data output. Why is that connected to, when these are supposed to be pulled high? This is being connected to that. And over here, there is a absolute hairline short there. let me grab this camera and I'll bring you right down. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me figure out what I'm doing. It's not even, I mean, you can probably see it, that pad right there is shorted to that trace. You see that? I cannot hold this still, guys. Do you see that right there? That's a short. Let's clear that short and see what we get. I'll be right back. Okay, I cleared that short, and now if I do a channel test, and before, you know what, I could recreate that. Let me recreate that short and I'll show you what this channel test did. I'll recreate the short. Well, actually, let's just do it right now. This is with the short taken away. You see how it's right? Now let me recreate that short and I'll show you what that channel test did, so that if you ever come across this, you'll know what to look for. Let me do that. I'm going to just reshort those two spots, and you'll see this channel test, how fast it went. Okay, I recreated that short just by doing this. It's pin 7 of the bipolar and pin 11 of that 190. And when you turn this on, it does not give you an interface error. See, watch this. I'll do it again. Now watch, it will not give you an error. It just goes right into that test mode. And you'll see here. I'm going to turn off the fan. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Now you'll see this channel test, how fast it is. That's what it was doing. Now I'll remove that short. All right, now it is done right. And just for good measure, we better test it out by playing it. I'll be right back. How freaking cool is this game? Oh, and on a side note, guys, another thing I did to this board set since the video that I posted is I replaced the 8 EEPROM sockets on the video board, because every now and again I would see flakiness around the characters and stuff, like lines, like blue lines would be all encapsulating the characters and stuff, and I was like, oh, we got socket problems now. So I replaced all of the ROM sockets on the big video board. Let's play this baby. This is a freaking cool game, isn't it? Takes 4 credits to start a game. That's a dip switch issue. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Get him. Come on. That's it. There you go. That was bothering me the whole... It just didn't seem right that it was playing fast like that. And I did a lot of research. I was asking Google a bunch of questions, and I came across something on Clove that says you should be able to put this in a regular cabinet, and you know, sometimes they would actually ship this with some of the later games that didn't use panning, and they would just clip the 10th pin on that guy. So I was like, this has to, it shouldn't be fast. It's got a problem. So I narrowed it down. I found the issue. It was that short. It shouldn't have been pulsing. And it was just a short circuit. That's all. But it was a hard one to find, especially for my non-CNIs. So, alright guys. Thanks for the comments on saying, hey, is that running fast and everything? Because I knew it was. But I just was like, well, maybe it's just the game, you know, and it's a panning board, it's a different I/O board. I don't know much about the MCR stuff. I'm learning as I go, and I just learned a lot. This panning board should work in any MCR board set that is like, you know, a Tron or whatever. From what I understand. I mean, that maybe, who knows, you know, but I think they're pretty much usable. But, not in a cocktail game, though, because it has to have that J6, that extra connector, I think. Anyway, yeah. Cool. Discs of Tron. Now it's done. Now I can feel good about sending it back. Especially with these ROM sockets up here is what I replaced. I replaced all of those sockets. Because I kept seeing that flakiness, and if I kind of flexed the board, it would go away. And I was like, yeah, we got ROM problem or socket problems. So I replaced those. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for the comments on the first video, pointing that out, because I was just like, I knew it was there before I uploaded the video. I knew it was running fast like that. I knew the sound was fast, but I couldn't find any logical failures, really. I didn't dig too deep into it, to be honest with you, but I just kind of chalked it up from the get-go, like that this board is not meant to be run on my setup, so that must be the issue. But thanks to everybody for for commenting on that. It really made me start thinking. Should this be normal? Should it not? And I did an awful lot of asking Google questions about MCR soundboards and that kind of stuff. And learned a few things. And fixed it. Fixed it right. Which is what we strive to do. Alright guys. Shout out to the Patreons. Appreciate all of you. Consider joining up if you'd like this kind of stuff. And yeah. We'll see you on the next Classic Arcade Repair. Peace out, guys.